Now, we've just learned in maybe the last, I want to say 45 minutes, about this big reversal from the Justice Department. They're now saying that the indictment charging the former FBI Director James Comey was, in fact, reviewed by a full grand jury. Regular viewers will know that is a real change from just yesterday when the DOJ said it messed up, saying only the foreperson and another juror saw that full indictment. They acknowledged that in front of the court. This was huge news 24 hours ago. At the time, Comey's attorneys argued that that was grounds for dismissing the charges altogether. Let's get to Kelly O'Donnell, who's following this for us. So now here pops up this filing that says that the DOJ is essentially correcting the record from what they said in court yesterday. Can they prove it?
Cleanup is happening, but I'm not certain if they can prove it. What they're doing is saying that, in fact, the grand jury was aware of the specific charges that ultimately led to a 2-count indictment. There had been a 3rd count that the grand jury did not choose to move forward on. What they're saying now is that through the transcript, which was readily available when this was first brought up, and Halligan herself, the U.S. attorney on an interim basis, was also present and had been the one in the room. So I don't know why there would be a question about this. But when you look at a couple of clips of the transcript, it does seem to indicate that the foreperson is saying that this was paperwork and that the whole grand jury had had the opportunity to review the counts. What's still unclear to me is if this is talking about the substance of those counts or the paper itself. I'm not so sure that's entirely clear.
Okay.
But that is the argument that the government is making, is that the grand jury was aware of the options. They exercised a right to, there was their judgment, a majority, not a full panel, but enough to indict. And the Comey defense is saying, no, this is not how it's supposed to be done, and there is case law to support that. It should be thrown out.
But if everything was done as it should have been done with the grand jury situation, right, as they're arguing now, I don't know the answer to this. Wouldn't the Justice Department officials have known that yesterday in front of the judge?
That's why I find it puzzling, because Halligan was in the room herself when this paperwork was presented to the judge after the grand jury had met. We know at that later point all the grand jurors weren't there. I still think there might be a question about whether this was an awareness of the charges or actually reviewing the document. But the other part of this that's actually, I think, more important is the Department of Justice is coming back today swinging, where Halligan is saying, much in the communication style of the president that they ultimately serve here, she is challenging the judge who at one point called her a puppet or referenced her as being a puppet. She'd only been on the job 3 days. How could she possibly have reviewed all of the information against James Comey? Wasn't she just exercising the president's will that he had posted? So she is saying that's inappropriate behavior from a judge, so they are really taking it right back to the court. That in and of itself is unusual, to challenge or to speak out about the judge when you are appearing before him. So there's a lot more to follow in this.
If we had a bingo card with the word unprecedented all over it, we'd be winning big. Can I just TLDR this? It sounds like, bottom line here, a day after the Justice Department acknowledged a mistake in this high-profile case, they are saying we did not actually mess up, and they are continuing to fight for this prosecution against James Comey.
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
You're watching that. Kelly O'Donnell, you and our team, thank you very much.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.